Hello everyone and welcome to my morning pot analysis videos with me, Richard, Paramarket Analyst at Hantec Markets on Friday the 15th of March. There's not a great deal of direction to speak of today, very slight area of dollar correction. It's interesting to see that sterling was lower earlier, actually sort of came back towards 32 figure again, but has since bounced from that point. The UK Parliament voted to extend Article 50, or voted to apply for an extension of Article 50, I should say, last night. And there was a little bit of a wobble on sterling in the wake of that, but generally speaking, it sort of found a bit of support this morning, back again, pulling back higher to basically broadly where it was last night around the vote. And what we've seen is, generally speaking, a little bit of dollar weakness, nothing too significant, a little bit of correcting in the fact that Treasury yields are lower, marginally lower there on the 10-year and the 2-year, but to be honest, nothing really doing in terms of direction. We've had the Bank of Japan monetary policy decision out overnight, and there was no change expected, and we got nothing really new out of the Bank of Japan, so as is there. A little bit of support coming in for equity markets. US markets were basically flat on the day last night, but S&P 500 futures are up 0.3%, and that's basically where the sort of moves that we're seeing on these European markets this morning. So broadly speaking, it's a touch positive on equities and forex markets, very slightly dollar corrective, but nothing really doing in terms of direction. We're looking out for a bit of data today. We've got the Eurozone inflation numbers for the final inflation numbers for February, and they are expected to be same as the flash readings or the prelim readings of 1.5 and 1% on the core. We're also looking out for New York Fed manufacturing at 12:30, expected to tick a shade higher, 10 plus 10 there. US industrial production numbers at 1:15, expected to improve on the month, 0.4%, and capacity utilisation up to 78.4 from 78.2. Also, we're looking at Michigan sentiment at 2 o'clock with an expectation of an improvement to 95.5 from 93.8. Now, my chart of the day is silver, and what we have got is this. Well, I mean, I've been looking at the fact that silver was recovering again throughout much of this week, and then it came up to this pivot band, or pivot line, I should say, at 1545 area. Had a look above that on Wednesday, but couldn't make the closing breakout, and subsequently yesterday we had a sharp move to the downside. Now I was sort of looking at this yesterday thinking this is a really significant moment, because look at the RSI failing at 50. MACD lines possibly coming to sort of cross back lower again under neutral, and the stochastics also rolling over. But we've had a positive reaction today, and it just sort of reflects the sense of uncertainty that you've got on both silver and my gold chart that I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But it is interesting that the market basically hit that pivot again at 1514 and has rebounded this morning. So it seems as though this is in a really important phase of trading. If it sort of closes back above 1545, then you're back in the game and in the recovery. But a failure underneath 1514, and it really does put under pressure. But looking at these momentum indicators, this is a really important phase, I think, and the resistance of that 1545 level is key. You've seen the unwinding move today, back higher again on the hourly chart, and that is beginning to sort of put pressure on the overhead levels again. Bit of a pivot line around that 1540 area, 1545, and that is the key level of resistance you're looking at on a near to medium term basis. A close above that and you really are looking far better set up, but you'd need to see the RSI, I think, above 50 to really give you confidence in that move. So a really important phase of trading, I think, for silver, and as I'll speak about in a bit, on gold too. So I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I'll speak to you later.